Hi, I'm Nimbus. I'm a VTuber over on Twitch, but I just wanted to actually make normal videos because I have always things I want to talk about. And I tried to make this AI art type thing before, but the last time I made it, I just felt like there was just a bigger argument that needed to be discussed, and that's, I guess, what I'm going to talk about. So there is this artist, Logan Preshaw, who works for, I guess he was Arc, Valorant, whatever. He is like a doomer like me about AI art. And he's talking about how it's difficult to tell now, and the focus is to stop focusing on how bad it looks, and it's giving let's talk about the ethics of it, but no one wants to talk about the ethics of it because I can tell you right now, prompters don't care about the ethics. They care about the product, and they care about releasing the product. And by other artists, making note of it and saying, "Oh, look how good it's getting," it's like, no, let's not talk about how good it's getting. Let's talk about how bad it is, and let's have the conversation about how these AI generated images would never even be a thing if it wasn't for the backbone being off people who are actually craftsmen, right? So this thread is damn ridiculous, and you can most of the artists that are in here are arguing with Logan and telling him that, yeah, you can tell because right here, what's all this? What's all that? What's this? This looks terrible. This is not. But then somebody who is someone who works for another company says that she was like the head of her department, and for a concept designer, she goes, "Oh yeah, if this landed up on my page, if this was handed to me, I would just accept this as junior concept designer work." And it was like, really? Then someone else in the same thread at the same time was like, "Oh, are we going to really start discrediting artists by having to look over their art to make sure their art is real?" And it's like, yes. In the world that the prompters created, yes. Now you're going to have to look at art and go, is this AI generated? Because prompters are on DeviantArt and on Fiverr, and they make money. I saw prompters that have Patreons that people pay for, and their artwork is bad. Not artwork, but their generated images are terrible, and they're so awful that I can't believe that there's things missing from them. And some people who's actual artists who's decided to stop drawing and focus on being a prompter instead, they also have Patreons. They have thousands of followers on Instagram because the AI bros want to support one another so that this can become a thing. Because the ethical conversation will never be a part of the conversation, no matter how much you want it to be, because it simply doesn't matter to the other side. I could argue the ethics of AI until I'm blue in the face and all of the issues that come with it. And the only people who care is they care about how good it's going to get. And the answer to, well, it doesn't do this yet. And the answer is it will. They keep saying it will. And that makes every artist out there be like, well, why should we do art? Why should we bother drawing? If it's just going to go into a machine and be scraped. I mean, thank God that it's not, what's it called? That's not, you can't copyright AI art. That just happened last month. So it's got to be human made. And thankfully, it's kind of dumb because now people who are in support of artists who do AI art are now there's a model where you can actually input an artwork and see if it was AI generated. But someone was like, "Oh, I thought this was so." I started an argument with a person on but on Twitter through this, and they said that the reason that this won't work is because some people are such good prompters and AI artists that it can't detect that it's AI art. And they showed like some examples, and I'm like, yeah, but if you look at those examples, you can tell it's AI art. And my next reply was, and don't worry, it will. It'll get so good, it'll be able to tell if it's AI generated. So the conversation should probably start going in the direction of like, the ethics aren't the way of it. Like, because the ethics clearly don't matter to prompters. Prompters just want to prompt. That's what they want to do. The thing is that people who are prompting, they should not be allowed into artist spaces. They shouldn't be allowed artist jobs. The only leeway that I'm willing to give it is if it's being used as a tool to help concept designers. Like maybe there's a person who's an artist who has trained their own model, not on artwork that belongs to anyone else, maybe their own, and they can make like a dozen images and then maybe send it to somebody. I'd be willing to have a company made model that works only for that specific company, and only those artists that work at that company are part of that trained thing because they'd be paid. And then maybe there would be people who are good at prompting could prompt like 700 images for the person who is looking to get the concept done, and then maybe the concept designer actually goes in and with these 400 images sort of creating a mood board for the concept designer so that things are actually still drawn and not just accepted. Because you're still going to need, you can't just, like, for example, you can't just make, a concept designer can't just make an enemy from Breath of the Wild and be like, yeah, like they just prompted it and it's like a fuckery mess. And they just accept that piece as fact and they just use that. You're not telling me that you're not going to use an artist to fix that up and clean that up and make that presentable for the 3D designers that are going to have to work on it in the future? Like, that's ridiculous. I feel like this Logan Preshaw person, like, they're a doomer like me, but they're also giving people who are prompters a way to defend their product. And this should not be defended. Because this is the same type of people who do NFTs. And the only person I've ever seen do NFTs and actually make money off it is Dave Polo. Because he actually makes physical pieces. And then when someone buys his NFT, he actually sends them the physical piece. So they can actually resell the piece if they want. Like, that's the proper way to do it. But it only works for people who actually have money. Otherwise, people are just people were stealing art from popular artists and putting them on wherever you sell the NFTs, the whatever it's called, Seashore, Open Shore, whatever it's called. It's the same thing, but it's just a different situation. Like, I just can't imagine. Like, I just feel that this person is kind of, for an artist, I feel that he is not helping the situation by bringing light to it. Let it stay in the darkness where it belongs. And that's all I have to say about that. I'm probably going to have another one of these, the second someone comes along and starts saying some shit. But if you like what you like and you like my content, feel free to follow me on Twitch. It's my links will be below. Feel free to subscribe. I'm going to try to do videos every Wednesday afternoon. We'll see. And dislike it if you dislike it. And Audi 5000, my friends. See you next week.